How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are on a great week. So I'm back today with a gaming news update video, guys. The gaming news gods have been kind to us today because we got some pretty amazing news courtesy of CD Projekt Red, and that is that the first Witcher game is getting a remake, which has me so excited. So let's just have a look at what CD Projekt Red had to say. They tweeted this about 5 hours ago, and this is basically what they said. They said, "We're thrilled to reveal that together with Fool's Theory, we're working on remaking The Witcher using Unreal Engine 5. This is the game that was codenamed Canis Majoris. We want to do this right, so please be patient. It's going to be a while until we can share more details." But oh my god, I'm so hyped for this news. This is amazing news and I'm really pleased. A little part of me is probably, small part of me is sad because I kind of sort of predicted or kind of said with Canis Majoris, because it was going to be a single one-off spin-off for the Witcher series, I was kind of hoping that they would explore more on Ciri. So it looks like we're not going to get that in this game. It is actually going to be a complete remake of the first game, and all I can say is finally a remake that makes sense. Amazing. Obviously, there's been a lot of controversy this year, particularly when it comes to remakes. Sony have been notorious for this, so announcing games like The Last of Us Part 1, and the rumor at the moment that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remaster or a remake. These games do not require remakes. A game that needs a remake for me is a well-loved game, a game maybe that a lot of people didn't get to play back in the day, and a game that, you know, when it first came out really was a product of its time, but deserves the treatment. It deserves a remake to bring it into modern gaming, and I can't think of a better game than The Witcher to do that. Now, The Witcher, when it came out, was a PC exclusive, so it still is a PC exclusive to this day. So just doing this remake is amazing because it is going to bring The Witcher, the very first game, which is an amazing game in itself. It did have its issues and its problems, most definitely, but the story, it's where I first fell in love with The Witcher. So I'm so excited at the prospect of this game getting the remake treatment, and I'm excited at the idea that people will actually be able to get hands-on with this, hopefully on across PC and next-gen consoles as well. The fact that they've confirmed that this is going to be on the Unreal Engine 5 has me excited as well. I've heard nothing but great things about the Unreal Engine 5, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the original Witcher is going to translate to that. I really hope that we're going to get the level of quality in terms of the remake along the lines of, say, Resident Evil 2 remake or even Final Fantasy 7 remake. Those games for me are the example of a remake done right, where you kind of retain the core of you know, what made the original great, but you add to it, you know, whether that's in additional story elements or content by taking the UI and the original gameplay and revamping it and bringing it, you know, into the modern day, of course, as well as all of the graphical improvements that come along with just more powerful technology. Now, The Witcher, the original game, has a fantastic story. It's been a long time since I've played it, so a lot of my memory around it is quite hazy, but I do remember it having a great story, great characters, of course, which would be expected, you know, from The Witcher. It had a very linear kind of story and areas. There, of course, were side characters and NPCs that you could talk to. I do remember there being side missions and side content, but it wasn't this big, expansive open world, say like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was, because obviously technology back in the day really couldn't cope with that. The biggest thing with it, though, was the UI and the combat system just really hasn't aged very well. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. When you do go back and try and play the PC version of it, yeah, the gameplay, it does feel really dated, and the combat does feel a little bit janky. Obviously, CD Projekt learned a lot from the jump from The Witcher 1 to The Witcher 2, and then, of course, to The Witcher 3. So I am hoping that this remake will improve that. I'm hoping that they'll take the combat from The Witcher 3 in terms of swordplay, dodging and movement, the camera perhaps being a bit closer to Geralt, obviously the signs and potions. I'm hoping it's going to take the core of the gameplay that we love in The Witcher 3 and maybe put a spin on that, you know, to reflect the first game. I want them to keep the story and the heart of it true. I don't want them to change anything to do with that, because it's special as The Witcher 1. There's just something about it that's really special and unique. So I don't want them to mess with, you know, what made it great. But I am certainly excited at the prospect of them just improving that gameplay and just making that game so much more accessible and allowing more people to find the world of The Witcher and actually get to play Geralt's story, you know, from sorry, hit my microphone there, from the beginning. So really looking forward to that. The look as well and the animations were just a little bit janky. There were obviously cutscenes in it, but Geralt in the first one, when you compare him to Geralt in number 2 and then definitely Geralt in number 3, he just looks weird. I remember there being this really cool cinematic cutscene right at the beginning of it where Geralt's taking on a Striga, and it looked amazing. It was so cool. But then the final game, obviously, when it came out, didn't look like that. Triss looked very, very different. Same with Vesemir and different characters. So I'm curious to see whether or not they will use the skins from the third part in the trilogy. I'm curious as to whether or not they're going to use those skins in the original Witcher. Obviously, you know, Geralt at this point has only just kind of come to from getting his amnesia. He doesn't remember Yennefer or Ciri at this point. So it's interesting to see that kind of Geralt. He's very, very different than the Geralt that we get in The Witcher 3. But I'm so excited to be able to go back and play the first Witcher game, but as a remake. I'm so excited at this prospect. I'm really looking forward to it. This is finally a remake that it's a game that deserves a remake. It really is. And I can't think of a better game to remake than the first Witcher game. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I'm really, really excited for it. So yeah, this is amazing news. Of course, we don't know how far away this is. This could still be a couple of years away. They've got the core, you know, there. It's not like they're having to kind of rewrite, you know, a brand new story or come up with characters or locations or a premise. They're not having to do any of that. They may even choose not to re-record lines. They may just go with what's already there. But obviously, it's going to take a while to design, you know, the look of it and bring the graphical improvements and probably they're going to end up having to redesign areas, obviously. And of course, the big thing is going to be the UI and the gameplay, without a doubt. But oh my God, The Witcher is getting a remake. I just had to record my initial reactions to this because, as you can probably tell from my voice, I'm really excited at the prospect of this. And here you go, Sony. This is what a remake should be. So none of that charging £70 or $70 for The Last of Us Part 1 or for, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, when those games are not that old and they really do not need a remake. The Witcher, that game needs a remake. And yeah, I'm so excited. When this comes out, I will definitely be covering it without a doubt. Absolutely. I may stream it. I may do a let's play of it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I certainly know I will be covering The Witcher remake and hopefully, you know, sharing my experiences of playing the game and playing the remake with you guys for the first time. And I'm really excited at the prospect of doing that. And I'm probably going to get really emotional, I know, because The Witcher RPG, you know, the trilogy, The Witcher lore, the universe, it's one of my favorite Western RPGs of of all time other than Mass Effect. So I'm very excited at the fact that the first game is getting that treatment. And I will say that the community and the fan base, we have been asking for a remake of the first Witcher game for quite a while. It's something that definitely has been on people's wish list, and I'm really excited to at the prospect that CD Projekt Red, in partnership, of course, with Fool's Theory, which is a fellow Polish developer, are actually going to be working on a remake for the first game. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I can't wait to learn more, and I can't wait to see more. But I just wanted to give my initial thoughts on that. So what are your thoughts on this news from CD Projekt Red? What are your thoughts on a remake for the first game? What are your thoughts on remakes in general? Please share those in the comment section below. Let me know what you're excited for, what your thoughts are on this news. And yeah, hope you guys, of course, are having a great week. Take care. And as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys. A Witcher remake!